Well, we're live on to YouTube. That means we're coming up on Facebook shortly. Although I'm not getting it on Facebook yet. Doesn't mean you're not. There we are. Hey, good morning, Candace from Palm Desert. Good morning, Reverend Trish from Moore Park. There we go. Now we're 1 minute away from gonging ourselves in. Let me know where you're checking in from. We're glad you're here. In about 30 seconds, we're going to take a couple deep breaths and spend 20 minutes together, remembering what we know. Yay. All right, it's 8:30. Here's the coffee. Here's the Casperator. Come on up. There's the Casper. He wants to say good morning. Good morning, everybody. We're glad you're here. Here we go. Some light workers gathering all around the world. Daz Dazzler. Hey, Daz. Nice to see you this morning from North Hollywood. You and Elizabeth. Hello, hello. Glad to see you. There we go. We're getting comments that I'm not getting. There we go. We're okay. There's Daz. There's the hello. Good morning, Elizabeth. Nice to see you all this morning. Yay. Okay, here we go. We're going to take a couple deep breaths in. Now remember, the object of this exercise is to sort of center us in our connection, in our inevitable and omnipresent connection with our high self, which is that real you. You remember that we talked about Emmett Fox's line. Your real self is the presence of God within you. That's the high self, the I am that I am. So we're going to breathe ourselves into that and get ourselves into heart. We are people who know there's only one life, one power, everywhere present, equally distributed, and that each individual I am is a center of that life. And so we are a hologram of the whole thing. And that's why if it's going to happen to us, it has to happen through us. And this is where we're putting our attention today. So here's a big deep breath in. The gong is just to remind us that we are emanating, everybody is emanating a signal, and that or vibrational signal in a vibrational universe. Everything's made of vibrating things, starting with electrons into atoms and then into molecules, and then that's how that goes, right? Everything is vibrating at a particular rate. You and I can change the level of vibration by the placement of our attention, of our conscious awareness. Here we go. Big deep breath in. Aloha, Ann from Honolulu. Nice to see you. Hello, Patri, also from Hawaii. We got the Islanders with us today. Yay. Nice to have you, ladies. All right. Big deep breath in. Relaxing the shoulders. Ooh. All right. One more time. Big deep breath in. Ooh, that's a little tone. Let's get that better. There we go. Relaxing the shoulders, and now bringing that energy up into our heart center. And now we're going to hang out together. So some of us will be have been around listening to rock and roll for long enough that we would remember the Steve Winwood song, Bring Me a Higher Love. And it still plays on the radio all these decades later. It still plays and it gets people's attention. It's a beautiful song. Bring Me a Higher Love. Now what we know is that in truth, the highest level of love has birthed you into existence. That you are the I am, birthed into the expression in mind, body, and spirit. I have a mind, I have a body, I have a spirit, but what I am is greater than all of that, because I am birthed into being by the cosmic one itself. We know the cosmic one itself is intelligence because we can recognize intelligence in ourselves. Now that intelligence, the sum total of human knowledge, is but a thumbnail of what is infinite intelligence. So you and I are using our conscious awareness and our identification as being one with the one. We're using that to grow our awareness. Today, I am guided, guarded, protected, and led into the paths of my highest good, to bring my highest level of awareness up. Now, so it goes from mind it goes from your conscious awareness, or the sum total of your awareness is going into the field of the circle, the law of mind, and returning to us as our experience. And now that's happening to everyone. And the sum total of that is what we call the race mind or race consciousness. And as you know, in order to be present with you and present with the world, I read newspapers. And in that, we're looking at the farthest level of the race consciousness coming out from within into the expression without. And the sum total of the race consciousness right now in the human condition is not that aware. Now, birds of a feather flock together, so vibrationally, we are here together. Hey, Arlen from San Clemente, nice to see you this morning. We are here together vibrating because we are connected within a level of vibration that matches. So we find each other. And light workers all over the world are finding each other. Now, whatever the algorithms are on Facebook or any of these social media sites, it's all vibration attracting like vibration. So if you were to look at my Facebook homepage, you would think the whole world is awake. However, if you read the newspaper, you know the whole world is not awake. So, because the algorithm is picking out things that I like, that I vibrate toward, and therefore we finding each other because you and I like some of the same things. Life, love, truth, wisdom, power, peace, poise, balance, harmony. We like all of that. So what we have to do, and I notice in my own biorhythms, for example, yesterday, I just, the expression was I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Now, I don't do that because as soon as I notice it, I work on fixing it. But I work on what is that's making me nervous or making me fearful or making me less confident and therefore less in tune with the infinite, which is harmony is the first law of the universe because eternality has to go on forever. It cannot be destroyed. So the real reality, as we see through the mist, as Dr. Holmes, the great philosopher, said in the last century, our purpose in having conscious awareness and being in tune with the infinite, and therefore practicing the presence, and aware that as we pray, hey, Paul, nice to see you from West LA this morning. As we're aware of the presence, as we're aware of it, we draw it into our being. So that's why practicing the presence, we know that there is the law of mind or the law of the circle, that which comes from us returns to us. But there's more than just the law. The impulsion of the gift of the law of creation, the law of the circle, which belongs to all of us, is that we can choose. We have the power to rise above the race consciousness, and therefore, now you're not separating from the race consciousness because everything's one. But we are rising up in our vibration in the race consciousness, therefore making a tremendous contribution to the race consciousness as we move toward the mass consciousness, which will shift, the critical mass that will shift into the awakening world. And the awakening world is born of heaven's first law, and which is harmony, and the impulsion of the universe itself, which is love. That which is perfect intelligence knows itself, loves itself, recognizes itself, and responds to itself. And we are that self, and we have all of us who are connecting at this level have come in to the human condition at this time of great transformation in the race, because the old ideas of war, killing one another, prejudice against one another when everybody's heart beats with the same exact force, right? Believing that some race or some kind of person is better than another kind of person, none of that is true. What is true is that some of us, through our spiritual practice, daily we meditate, and daily we affirm, and daily we direct the law of mind to move in the direction of our greater awakening. Because that which is the creator, the giver of life, love, and beauty, has created you so that you could discover yourself, wake up to yourself, and then, as Joseph Campbell, the great storyteller and mythologist, said, to learn how to tolerate our bliss, right? That's what we want to do. We want to be able to allow the good and more good and the greater good to come into our lives. Now, as I've shared with you, I learned when I was facing a crisis at 20 years old, I learned that we do not just live for ourselves. We live for ourselves and everybody who's touched by the arena of our experience. So we have to be selfless, even though the attention is on being self-empowered. In other words, we're unselfishly being self-empowered so that we can contribute a greater vibration to the race. And that's the best way to live a life fulfilled and in purpose, is seeking to bring your highest vibration into the world. Now, the wonderful thing about that is if you're seeking to bring your highest vibration into the world, that means you're creating a greater life for yourself. And isn't that odd? The more you intend to free yourself from the bonds of the eon-aged ideas that no longer serve in the ongoing expression of the beautiful planet Earth and all of what is humanity on the Earth, these ideas of war and prejudice and hatred and fear and violence are simply no longer going to work. And we can see it in the long term, so we begin to change our minds so that we can begin to make a contribution to changing the mind of the race, right? And in the meantime, whether the race catches up or not, we step into the kingdom of heaven, as the master teacher says, behold, the kingdom of heaven, that means of the all good, is at hand. And it can be drawn into our life. Because of the general lack of awareness of the race consciousness, if we do not develop a daily spiritual practice and set a mindset to live from my higher awareness, we're going to fall short. We're going to be silly humans because we are human. It's going to pop in to our experience and into our awareness, and it never feels good. And then that reminds us that experience is happening to remind us to go upstairs, to connect ourselves with that which is the one life, the one power, the one presence, and to draw that one presence into our lives. And what I have certainly noticed, this month I turned 70 years old, and what I have certainly noticed is, boy, the tone, the vibrational tone that comes through you, if you're speaking English or Spanish or any other language in the world, the vibrational tone that comes through you, through your voice, through the way you're using your words, is very, very important. And the more we can attune ourselves to the kindness within our own, we can hear our own voices at the way that we hear them, It's probably not the way you hear them, but internally you hear your own voice, and you can tell when you're being more in tune with yourself, because there's a greater softness to your tone. There's a way you recognize that tone is sounding more and more like yourself, right? And that's what we want to be bringing into the world daily. Since we live for ourselves and everybody who's affected by our experience, we daily want to try to bring the best of ourselves into our daily world and into our daily interactions in the world. As the Course in Miracles says, my heart is beating with the peace of God. Now today in California and in 4 other states of the United States of America, it's a primary day, it's an election day. I was going to go find my I voted sticker, but I put it on some other jacket. I don't know where it went. But we voted, and we vote because we believe that it's important that you and me as light workers in the world bring our highest awareness, whichever way you're choosing, but the highest awareness and your highest insights into how you can contribute to an awakening world. And certainly one of the ways you can do that, here in the United States, we were raised on some beautiful ideas, life and liberty and freedom and justice and equality. And just because some people are not remembering the depth of those words and what they mean, you and I, the light workers in the world, are waking up to them in a dynamic new way. Equality for all, justice for all, freedom for all. It belongs to all people, and the sacred heart of the United States was established in order to find a more perfect union, because governments along historic's way haven't done that. Now we, in 250 years, have created quite a chalice, and it's a chalice of something sacred for all the world. And yet, when we fall off of those high principles, we see the mess that it makes, not only in our nation, but all around the world. So you and I who are aware, must bring me the higher love. We must tune in to the highest love. Knowing that the highest God and the innermost God is one God, we must tune in to the highest love and the deepest love in our lives. Yes, because it will liberate us from all the distractions in the race, and allow us to continue to move forward in building the impossible dream. The impossible dream is what do you perceive is the best and highest order for all around you, and then can you bring that to the surface of your skin and live it in the world? And that's our practice, even though the waves of the race, sometimes vibrating at a lower level, will sometimes grab us. And that's when we need to take more quiet time and get more into dialogue with the presence itself, and adjust our attitude, knowing that sometimes if we got the blues, it's going to pass, because we are already setting the state of mind that's going to move us back into the affirmative, that which brings more life, more love, more truth. Because if it's going to happen to me, it has to happen through me. If it's going to happen to us, it has to happen through us. If it's going to happen in the U.S., it has to happen through us, right? And as we allow those higher and deeper and more valuable qualities, the founding principles of this nation that we were raised in, that we stand up and sing songs in, oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, and we sing songs about it. We're honored about it. We thrill it to this day, even with the different points of view. People love to stand up and sing together, whether it's Take Me Out to the Ball Game or the national anthem. People want to come together as one. It's part of your deeper nature, because everybody is one. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. You're watching Coffee with Casper. This is Casper. Oh, look at him. Come on up. Look, he got his head in the dirt. He's out there digging for lizards. And we're here every Tuesday morning to share for 20 minutes, and then we put some snippets out there in the universe. So let me know where you are, where you're checking in from. We're glad you're here. I want you to know that your presence as a light worker, I'm just reminding you, I know you already know, you are the one who can perceive and draw forth your own impossible dream. Good and more good, no limit to that good. You are the one whose inner recognition of reality is what you're calling to the highest level. I do not believe that that which is the giver of all life, love, and beauty has any interest in war. It's not. Peace is at the very heart of the one, and peace must be at the very heart of me. Harmony is at the very heart of the one, and harmony must be what I draw into my life, regardless of the conditions of the sea, right? And sometimes we get rocked around by the conditions of the sea, and there is always a morning after. The seas will calm. Everything will calm. So long as those who are bringing the light in the world take your work seriously, that you are not just doing your day-to-day routine, you are not just going through the grind, you are an awakening soul, drawing through what is your chop wood and carry water, and everybody has chop wood and carry water. There are things you must do to maintain your life, your home, your environment, and the good that you want in your world. And that's what we're doing. So if you found anything valuable in our 20 minutes together today, share the video in any way you can. Share it in your groups, share it in your different apps, share it wherever you're doing your light work in the world. And let's connect everybody and be an avenue. We're not the only ones, thank God. There's tons of light workers on the planet. And we are finding a way to connect and to bring forth the highest and the best in our lives, and therefore helping humanity and everyone bring forth the highest and the best in their own lives. Who you are is something magnificent. What you have to bring to the world, what brings your greater good, is now and has always been and will always be your expanding awareness. So I appreciate your expanding awareness. I appreciate that we get to be together in this field in cyberspace together and draw on our own awareness of what is the highest good and bring it forth in our lives. Who you are is something magnificent. And we'll be back next week on Coffee with Casper. And until we meet again, I invite you to go in the light, as the light and with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surrounds you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. Have a great and wonderful week. Let's practice. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a deeper love. Bring me greater light, that I might share it in the world, even as it cleanses and awakens me in a greater way than I've ever known before. We'll see you next week on Coffee with Casper. Bye for now. Hey, Casper, where'd you go? Whoop, chasing lizards. We'll see you next week. Until then, oh, here he comes. He wants to come up. One more time, say goodbye. Come on. You want us to come up and say hi, Teddy? Come on. Come on. Come on up. There you go. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.